I don't know about you, but I find myself looking through old copies of Photoshop User Magazine for inspiration sometimes of things I can do. And today I was inspired by a December 2002 issue of Photoshop User, which had the Guru Award winners from Photoshop World from 2002, one of which was the first place commercial award that went to Cesar and Omar Hamdan. And they had created a pretty cool effect where they made, in this case it was soccer players, sports figures looking like water droplets, and hopefully it will be somewhat more obvious when I actually show you. And I'm going to attempt to recreate the same basic idea, and hopefully you can see how you could adjust this concept to various things. So all I've done is pre-selected this golfer. I'm going to use my lasso tool and simply drag and drop just the selection. There's really no reason for me in this case to drag and drop the pixels. I'm just going to drag and drop the selection itself. But I do need to put that on a separate layer, and I'm going to fill that with just about any color. It really doesn't matter. I'll just use white in this case. Move the layers palette in so we can see. Now we're going to basically lower the fill opacity all the way down to 0, and now add a bevel and emboss. I'll try to position this so you can at least see the effect on a portion of it. I need to really see the two sides. But basically all we're going to do is make a fairly large but soft bevel. That's a little bit too big. There we go. I'm going to lower the opacity of the shadow so it's not quite as strong. And one of the biggest things I'm going to do is turn off use global light. I'm going to pull this, see there's a little symbol right in the middle. I'm going to pull that very close to the middle, and that creates a nice, very kind of subtle water droplet effect. If I move this out of the way, you can sort of get the idea, something like that. Now basically, honestly, that's really the basic idea, but we want to kind of play with this idea so we're not simply just getting a golfer, but we need to make other water droplets as well. Now we can do this in a couple of ways. You can either make selections that are water droplet-y, and because they're on the same layer that also has that layer effect, as soon as I fill that with anything, it will create another water droplet, something like that. So we can continue to do that, make a selection and fill. Or we could also take our paintbrush, just make sure it has a nice hard edge brush, and as I paint, this is kind of a cool idea because it's actually almost like painting with water. So you get the idea that you can actually paint the little water droplets as we go. So let's paint one right in there. It almost like it's the golf ball. Let's move this out of the way for a moment. I want to create the illusion, hopefully, of something that almost starts to look like the glass or the beer bottle that was positioned here and has left kind of a curved water droplet, something like this. Now again, I'm doing this fairly quickly, of course, just for the purpose of illustration, as always, just to give you the basic idea, but hopefully you're getting a sense of the idea of what we're going for. Now there's plenty of opportunities for other things. For example, let me close my original golfer, and in here somewhere I found a picture of a bottle cap so that I could try to throw this into the mix to try and make it look a little more like you're looking at a tabletop. Okay. In this case, we probably should play with the lighting so it's kind of looks the same way. Drop shadow and just pull this over a little bit, maybe something like that. And of course you could add anything you wanted. We could add some text that says, you know, golf is everywhere, so to create the effect that this guy's even seeing golf in the water droplets on his tabletop as he's at the bar having a beer, and maybe perhaps one or two too many. But anyway, that's just the basic idea, and really the main thing I wanted to show you is the ability once again to lower the fill opacity. And then the cool part of this again is, let me get this open one more time. As long as I'm on the correct layer, it doesn't even matter what color I have. Let me just show you that I could even switch to any color, because of course my fill opacity is set to 0. Anywhere that I paint, I'll be getting these little water droplet ideas. So it's kind of a cool way to do anything with water droplets, not the least of which would be doing the same thing with type. Anyway, it's a pretty cool idea. Check it out for yourself, won't you? So there you have it, another idea, and as you know by now by watching these, the whole idea I'd like you to do at this point is to take it and run with it, because you never know what possibilities will start to exist when you start experimenting and trying things with these little techniques. I'm Dave Cross. We'll see you next time.